Hello, I'm Gregory Sale. I'm going to talk about It's Not Just Black and White, a residency exhibition staged primarily at ASU Art Museum. The project began with a collaboration with 14 inmates enrolled in the one very small rehabilitation and reentry program offered by the local sheriff's office. We created a museum installation featuring black and white striped walls that mimic the visual imagery of the standard issue inmate uniform. The three striped walls became a defining backdrop for 3 months of programs. A fourth wall of the installation invited all who visited to write, draw, or record their thoughts about what needs to change in the current system. The project explored and exposed the many often conflicting viewpoints, perspectives, and values that emerge from thoughtful considerations of justice and public safety. We're going to hear a few sounds from that first day of painting. Establishing a virtual connection between jail and the museum helped frame the project on aesthetic and emotional levels. Choreographer Elizabeth Johnson and I conceptualized the mother-daughter distance dance. Daughters performed at the museum for and with their incarcerated mothers while their mothers danced at jail. This idea of mothers and daughters dancing together but apart suggests a core issue that I'm exploring in my projects: the real and too little discussed impact of our incarceration system on all of us as individuals and as a community. To infuse the project with direct experience, curator John Spiak and I offered tours of Tent City Jail. Just as we brought people, guns, and certain mechanisms of incarceration into the museum, we physically transported museum visitors to jail. These artistic gestures and direct experiences provided a framework for a 52-event program. There were 37 institutional partners and close to 20,000 visitors. We created something akin to a demilitarized zone. The museum served as a site for civic dialogue in a community that has almost none. Here's an exchange I had with Sheriff Joe Arpaio.
By the way, you mentioned a chain gang.
Right.
Well, I have to admit that everybody says I revisited the chain gang. Not here, we never had. But there is one chain gang I'm very proud of. So we have the only female chain gang in history.
As a philosophical counterbalance to Sheriff Joe, I worked with the Humanities Project to co-host activist scholar Angela Davis. She posited that the very future of democracy depends on our ability to develop radical practices to create a world beyond the prison industrial complex. Nearing the end of the project, the Arizona Department of Juvenile Corrections granted temporary escorted furloughs for 15 incarcerated youth. For a full day once a week for 3 weeks, these juvies attended university classes and programs across campus. On their final visit, we worked together to archive and then tear down that fourth wall. To close the project, 5 collaborators who helped paint the original stripes when they were inmates returned as free men to paint out that emblematic image.